Got a second? All right, so what I want to do is the Great Awakening versus the Rapture. And prior to 2017, all right, September 23rd, years prior, I was doing Rapture stuff. Talking about the Rapture, it's coming. September 23rd, 2017, the heavenly signs coming. And then we go by it. Now, before I get really into the heart of this message, which I hope you stay tuned for, because if you got kids, or if you got, and you're, most people that are doing their stuff, they don't tell their kids, or they're just older and they figured out if they're doing YouTube videos, they figured out you could get monetized pretty quick, putting out a bunch of scam live videos. And then I didn't know it got this bad till like the last 2 years, and now it hit a pinnacle with me. Like, I am like one desire, I am going to wreck them, and I'm going to explain why. But before I get into the heart of the message, I want to go back to what I was doing, right? I was doing the same thing. And then I'm telling my kids, and when my kids were younger, all I talked about was, like, me and my brother, man, we would go camping, and we're talking in the 90s, and then this is our whole conversation, because I watched all the prophecy shows back then. We didn't really have social media or none of that. We had Sunday night, TBN, Trinity Broadcast Network, and there was Hal Lindsey and Jack Van Impe, and oh man, it was coming, man. The Rapture, we're getting ready to go bye-bye. And then we had Y2K. Oh my gosh, Y2K, which was when we can switch over to the year 2000, the computers, the chip was not going to be able to handle it. Everything's going to shut down. Lie. And then, the Mayan calendar in 2012. That's it, guys. There's nothing after that. And then, I think there was something in 2015, if I remember right. I kind of really missed that one. Maybe with a comet or an asteroid. I don't remember what most of the talk was. And then it was the 2017 sign, September 23rd. And I wrecked my kids on this stuff. I mean, I had a point where I know not to even mention it, period. So then I'm thinking, man, what if something's really coming and I've already cried wolf? I have no integrity with my kids, or trust, I should say. Then all is trust in the Lord, trust in Jesus. There is no rapture. That event and all those things happened, and when Jesus said they were going to happen, that generation that he was speaking of was the generation he was in. And in 67, between that and 73 AD, all that stuff transpired. John, who prior was on Patmos, an island, writing the Revelation, and was even caught up to heaven, told John that you're going to prophesy again. Now, what I mean by that is, seal up this book. It's going to be bitter, right? Eat this little book up, because it's going to be bitter in your belly. But it's going to taste like honey. You're going to prophesy again, John. So he's let loose out of prison. And what did he do? He became one of two witnesses. to face death 3 days in a street alongside Paul. Paul and John Paul, 2 witnesses. As Paul was already doing it. And then Jacob's trouble, day of the Lord. You know, when those 2 died and laid in the street, they were raptured up. And I'm pretty sure they reigned with God right after that. Was the 1,000 years already done? Covered up? Was it covered up? I don't know. Satan already let loose. Are we in that short season? I don't know. It does make sense because there's a thing called the Dark Ages, and those could have been the Light Ages. Those could have been the reign of Jesus Christ, covered up by Satan when he was let loose. And then they went and destroyed all the old books. Any old books that talked about it, they burnt. Gone, gone, gone. I have an old book. I have an old book of lost gospels that even says, when I read that, it says they went through tribulation back then. I got all that stuff. I have those texts in some of the craziest stuff that were left out of the Bible about Jesus when he was young. Those missing years are in these lost books I got. But regardless, do you think you're going to escape? And the question I have for you then, if you're going to escape and you go, everybody's saved. I mean, what about you got pets? Your pets are going to go with you? Did the pets back then in 70 AD go with when Jerusalem got torn down and they were all told, when you see Jerusalem get surrounded, flee to the mountains? If I had animals, dogs, or I don't know if they had dogs but I would have flee to the mountains with my dogs, but that's all been done. We're in a whole new situation. Fighting against principalities and forces of darkness. That's been our battle. The battle that some people have literally turned their head and won't do nothing because they think they're going to be raptured out of here. You're not getting raptured out of here. I've already came to that thought process where I said to God, I said, man, if my dogs are going to be sitting here all by themselves, not being fed, not let out, or my kids, I don't know if, they say, they believe Jesus, but I'm not, that is not even a point that makes sense. I believe that Jesus died, but I say, no, don't take me. I'm going to stay back here and fight for all the other people that aren't taken. And as soon as I said that, it hit. There's no rapture. Because that was nothing for this time. That was back in that time. Read it in the scriptures in Matthew. And you see he's talking to that generation. That he does say there's going to be, but that's not the end. There's going to be wars and rumors of wars, but that's not the end. But what they went through was they were taken. They had the day of the Lord. The people that were the little flock were taken up. They had the first resurrection when Jesus rose again. They had the first resurrection. And then they had the second one, 70 AD arena. All been done. So where are we at right now? We pray in spirit and in truth. And that's it. God dwells in this temple inside you. There's no temple going to be built. The only temple that they keep talking about is because all the books were written. Tim LaHaye and the Left Behind series. And now, for some reason, you planted a seed with these people thinking they're going to build some temple and take some red heifers in there and start sacrificing, when that is completely an abomination to God. They would have to be absolutely moronic. Means nothing to God, because he already dealt in his generation with his people. That's how it's going to be. Hold on. See what happens. So, I'd say get in the fight for this country against these evil, demonic people. And most are in the news media. That's where the battle's at. The false prophet. That chattering, lying news media. I'll be back.